Hi, Tony. How's it going?
Very well, John.
Yeah. It's good to see you here in Barcelona. Beautiful, sunny Barcelona.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's last day of the show, bright and
Yeah.
early in the morning.
I know. How are you feeling?
It's a very fun city, Barcelona.
That's excellent. So how's the show going for you?
Excellent show, excellent show. Tremendous interest in SharePoint, tremendous crowd.
Yep.
A lot of enthusiasm.
So can you tell me a little bit about AvePoint and some of your solutions? And I understand you have a pretty interesting solution coming in the market too.
Well, AvePoint was originally known for its item level backup and restore solution for Microsoft SharePoint.
Right.
Since then, we've expanded to cover the full end of SharePoint backend management. I mean, while SharePoint does an excellent job on the front end and user interfaces, being a distributed server architecture, there's some unique challenges on managing the back end. So we've expanded out from our item level backup and restore solution. Now we cover the full range of back-end management.
Yep.
Our new tool coming out is an administration tool. We call it Administrator.
Yeah, I saw that. I had an opportunity to see that at your booth. Want to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, yeah, and I also presented it at the Speaker Idol presentation, which was quite a blast.
Didn't you?
I was in quite a tough heat.
Yeah.
The winner of my heat actually went on to win Speaker Idol, so I feel good that I lost to the champion.
Rumor is he paid some money to win too. So.
She did, yeah.
Oh, she. I'm sorry.
Tremendous speaker though. So.
Well,
yeah, no, our administrator tool it's meant to be a truly centralized administration for SharePoint.
Yep.
So rather than needing to go into individual servers to the central admin website, individual sites, web applications, you can manage them all from one centralized interface, propagate securities and things, replicate them across multiple sites, and really manage all of the settings from properties, securities, quotas, locks, any of those higher level and type properties across the entire SharePoint environment in your organization, no matter how many farms there are, how many web applications. It's quite an exciting tool.
Yeah, so I saw that. One of the things that coming from a partner that did compliance, back at Microsoft, is that I can very much understand, some of the challenges around compliance, especially in the United States and other regulated industries. But that must play in very nicely with your other compliance server solution.
Yes, definitely.
Because there's a lot of SharePoint servers out there that sometimes people may or may not know about when it comes time to discovery. Not knowing about them is not excusable many times.
Sure, and one of the things that we've been seeing is the tremendous growth of SharePoint.
Yep.
And it's not just growth, it's becoming more and more of a document management and a business critical tool where there's key business data that's kept in the application. So things like the audit trails, the metadata, who's modified a document and when, those are critical pieces of business information, which SharePoint is tremendous at managing. But it's backing them up, it's restoring them, it's making sure they're not altered on any kind of operations that becomes critical.
Yeah, I think we've seen an evolution from not only email being mission critical, but SharePoint and document management being mission critical. So how do you see that evolution occurring?
Yeah, I think with the last version of SharePoint, the version 2 or SharePoint 2003, it was used more as a project management tool in individual organizations. With the new version, it's really spread across the enterprise. It's become a full knowledge management solution.
Excellent.
So you really see the business criticality of it, and things like backup and restore, disaster recovery, compliance, even administering that kind of environment become key business problems.
So I think the first time we met, it was in Orlando, and I think I prefer it here a little bit better. But you were talking about some of the challenges around compliance, and one company had a lot of videos that they were trying to manage. I want to talk a little bit about that as well. And also, if I could ask a two-part question.
Sure.
It's also why SharePoint? You have an interesting story behind that too, adopting that early on. So.
Yeah, we were actually in the Exchange backup space in the early days, and Exchange, of course, has been around for a little while at this point in time, and there's quite a few vendors who do Exchange brick-level backup, mailbox-level backup. That was our original product, and SharePoint in those days was web storage system. How we were doing our Exchange backup was very compatible with the first version of SharePoint, so it was a natural change for us, and we've been riding the SharePoint wave ever since.
You started off on the first version, didn't you?
Yes, yes, and we had the first item level backup and restore solution out for each version, including 2007. So we're pretty excited about that.
Paid off,
and the other question
was you have a large customer that has a lot of video files. So
Yeah, video is an interesting thing in SharePoint. As many people are aware, the back end of SharePoint is a SQL database.
Sure.
So SQL is excellent for managing things like metadata, for tables and large amounts of information of that type.
Right.
When it comes to things like video files to large data files, it's
Huge,
not
right.
the best tool for
Yeah.
storing that type of information. So we have some archiving solutions where those type of files can be moved off of the SharePoint environment. There's still a stub left in the SharePoint environment, so it's completely transparent to the end user, fully accessible. It's a seamless integration, but from the administrator perspective, it's taken off of the SQL. The SQL resources are really freed up. The SQL is left to do what it's best at,
Right.
and then those files are kept on a tiered storage system where they can really be properly handled and managed.
So it's not just archiving for compliance, but it's archiving
Yes.
for large files.
Yeah, we actually have two archiving solutions. One is more of what we call an extender type solution, which is the one I'm talking about now.
Yep.
Then we also have the compliance archiving solution, which
Excellent.
that's really meant for keeping the business records, making sure the data is unchangeable and really kept according to the retention policies. It's all business rule aware.
Excellent. And AvePoint also is a worldwide at the Worldwide Partner Conference was OBIS Central, or Office Business Application Central,
Yes,
launch
yes.
partner. So thank you very much for that. But how has that worked out for you, in terms of finding other partners and?
We've been really excited about our involvement in the OBER program and OBER Central.
Thank you for doing that.
Sure.
By the way.
Even just from having information up on the site, we've
Yeah.
had other partners look at it, see it.
Yeah.
We've really found a lot of good business relationships. We've really been growing rapidly in the last few years, starting
Yeah,
out with SharePoint and really seeing the SharePoint growth curve and explosion. So one of the challenges that we faced is really expanding our operations globally.
Right.
We've been opening satellite offices. We have one in London, one in San Jose, one in Melbourne now, Australia.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
the challenge really is finding the right partners in the local market, the systems integrators, the consultants who are out there with the customers doing the implementations. And the OBER program has been phenomenal for making those type of connections, for
Excellent.
really finding the right partners, for seeing who's doing what in the local markets, and for them to find us. We've also partnered with some ISVs as well who do some complementary solutions to ours. So
Excellent.
we've gotten quite a lot out of the program. We're very excited about our participation in it.
Well, thank you very much for that. And just thanks for being here at the show, and thanks for being a great partner and part of the ecosystem and working with Microsoft.
It's always a pleasure.
So thanks very much, Lanni.
Thank you.
All right.